Hello there, Eddie Mercado here with BloodyElbow.com, and I'm about to speak with UFC bantamweight Andre Soukhamthath as he is headed to UFC Fight Night 114 in Mexico City on August 5th to take on Alejandro Perez. So let's give Soukhamthath a call and find out his thoughts on his performance in his UFC debut, find out his thoughts on traveling to Mexico City, and maybe find out his thoughts on the Stylistic matchup with Perez. Mr. Soukhamthath, how are you, sir?
I'm good, brother. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. It's been a while. It's been a while. Now, the last time we spoke, it was before your rematch with Ken Moy. You called out the UFC. You said, if I go out and get another finish, I want my call up. Sure enough, you went out, you put the business on Moy, and you got your call up to the UFC. How are things, man?
It's good, man. You know, I was hoping to kind of get a nice contract and you know, like a full fight camp for my UFC debut. But you know, nowadays everybody's getting in with short notice, and I had to wait a couple months. It was probably 6 months, 5 months, 6 months of me hearing I was gonna get signed, but you know, nothing was yet to happen, and it finally happened. And now that I'm here, where I want to be, I feel great, man. Everything's great. I'm living the dream.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. What was it like when you got the call up? I mean, where were you when it finally came through? Like, hey, we have a fight for you.
I was actually on my way to. I came home from training, and I was on my way to work. I was getting ready to go to work, and you still see me, bro?
Oh yeah. Oh, you just went out as you said that. Actually, there we go.
And I was on my way to work, and you know, the guy I was working with at that time, he gave me a call. He said, "Hey, you want to fight in Vegas, UFC 209, against Albert Morales?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "When is?" I was like, "When is it?" He was like, "Next weekend." I was just like, "I'm in. Let's do it." I had to cut like 18 pounds in like 8 days, but you know, wow. I did it. I toughed it out, and I put out. I left everything in the cage. I tried my best to win, and that's it, man. That's all I can say about the debut.
Yeah. How many fights did you sign on for?
I signed a 4-fight contract.
Okay, awesome. Well, definitely congratulations on that, for sure.
Thank you.
And UFC 209, you made your debut. It was a exciting bout, back and forth. A lot of people say you actually won that fight. It was the split decision. I was curious as to your kind of stance on that.
You know, he definitely controlled me in the third round. You know, I say the first round went to him, the second round went to me, in the third round I had him hurt. And that's when my cardio kind of failed. You know, I tried to put him away, and I kind of gassed out. And when you gas out in the cage like that, you make stupid decisions. And I just shot in on him because I felt like I had him on the ground, you know, the second round. So I was trying to secure the win. You know, it wasn't like I shot him for him because I was just tired. I was actually, you know, trying to secure the win. And, you know, I kind of slipped, and he kind of reversed that takedown and took my back and had my back for a good 3.5 minutes. So I'm not mad at the decision. You know, I feel like I would have won the fight if I didn't shoot. If it stayed standing, I felt like I would have finished him. Forget the decision, I would have finished him. But you know, I took the fight 9 days notice, made weight in 8 days, and you know, even though I'm really hard on myself, I keep telling myself that, and a lot of people were pretty entertained with my performance. So, you know, you know me, bro. I come out to fight every single time, and when I have a full fight camp, I'm not only physically ready, but I'm mentally ready. And when I'm mentally ready, when I'm mentally sharp, I'm a dangerous fighter. And, you know, it's going to be different this time.
Yeah, there was a moment there in the third where, I mean, you were landing just body hooks consecutively, and each one of them was landing. I mean, what was like going through your head at the time? Did you know that each one of them was going to land?
I was like, oh, I got him there. I'm going to go for it again. Oh, I got him there. Oh, he didn't like that. Oh, yeah, what's up? Let's go. And I just kept going for it, you know, because that's what I would do in practice. You know, if I hurt somebody to the body or to the legs, I just keep going after it, man. You know, to the head is a little different in practice, you know, but I should have mixed it up a little bit. But like I said, you know, when you're a little tired in fights, you kind of make stupid decisions. And I was in the moment. My first fight in the UFC, I got excited, and I tried to put him away, and I paid for it. I paid for not being mentally sharp in the cage, and I paid for not making the smartest decisions. So
now, I mean, you got your first fight, won it. It's already completed. Looking back, I mean, was there like the octagon jitters that we always hear about, the adrenaline dump? Was that a real thing, or was it just kind of another day at the office for you?
maybe the first 30 seconds, you know, walking out, I was ready to fight like always. But, you know, when the bell rang, the first 30 seconds, it was kind of, oh, shit, I'm actually fighting. But then after that, you know, after I danced around a little bit with Albert Morales, I figured, yo, he's just like another human being. You know, all these guys in the UFC are human beings just like me. They eat the same foods. They breathe the same air. So it's nothing new. It's just, you know, under bigger lights. And actually, I was the first fight. You know, I wasn't used to that. And it was kind of quiet in the arena because, you know, we were the first fight. So I'm used to like a loud, crazy environment. You know, either people rooting against me or rooting for me. But this was kind of quiet. It was more like a practice sparring session. You know, and that was kind of new to me. But I understand that, you know, it's going to be, it's my, you know, first couple fights in the UFC, so it's going to be like that sometimes. And
Sure.
And now I know what the UFC expects, you know, whether you're the first fight or the last fight, they treat you pretty much the same, but they just ask for something in return. And that's, you know, you give it your all and you give it a good performance.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest takeaway from your UFC debut?
That I know how the company is run now. You know, from flying to wherever, you know, from flying to Vegas and getting picked up by a private driver and a hotel and you know, just getting all these different red carpet treatment. I was never used to that, really, you know, and I kind of felt guilty at one point, you know, but now, you know, I belong here. And the Octagon is the Octagon come fight night. I just know that I got to turn on the switch and fight. But everything else, you know, I'm there for a reason, and I deserve to be there. So, you know, I got to quit feeling guilty and thinking about other people and, yeah, really think about myself. Because at the end of the day, the fighters are the star of the show. And the UFC really takes care of their fighters. So I say their whole experience I took away.
Okay, well, and you're about to travel again. You're getting your passport stamped. You're headed to Mexico City, taking on Alejandro Perez, UFC Fight Night 114 on August 5th. Have you ever been to Mexico?
No, but I'm working on my Spanish, baby. Viva Mexico, ¿cómo estás? Hola, mi llamo es Andre Soukhamthath, and I'm going over to take over. I'm going to win over the Mexican fans. You know, Alejandro Perez is a good fighter. He likes to bang out. So do I. It's gonna be a great fight, and the Mexican fans are in for a treat because they are hardcore fight fans, and I am excited to perform in front of them.
Now, do you think you'll maybe stay a little bit later and kind of hang out in Mexico and kind of soak in the sights, or maybe go out a little bit early or anything?
You know, I kind of do that like the first couple of days I get there. It's like high altitude, so I'm going there a couple of days early. I'm going 8 days early. So I still get to train a little bit with some energy inside of me. And my weight is good, you know. Like I said, I got to prepare for this fight. So everything is going really good. I'll probably get out and see the sights a little bit, get my mind off food and different things while I'm out there before the fight. But, you know, when it comes to like 3-4 days before the fight, I'll probably just chill out a little bit more in my hotel room. But as far as staying after, no, I'm there for business. I have kids at home waiting for the daddy to come home. So, you know, I'm going to go over there and make my money, cash 2 checks, hopefully 3, and come back home to my kids. But, you know, I got a honeymoon in September, and me and my wife have yet gone on the honeymoon after our marriage is our 1-year anniversary. So we're thinking we're going to go back to Mexico and actually really experience, you know, no fight, no nothing, just me and her enjoying a different country. And I think we're going to back to Cancun, Mexico. So
Okay, awesome. Well, mad respect, absolutely.
Mexico.
Yeah, and congratulations on getting married. Also, it's a huge life, momentous occasion and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
And
when I spoke to you, I wasn't married yet. So,
yeah. So definitely
bro.
congrats on that, and hopefully
I
you'll
appreciate
get in the official honeymoon, and it won't be distracted with fight weight cutting and
Yeah.
bruises and all that jazz or whatnot. But so you mentioned the altitude. Have you been doing anything to kind of prepare yourself, like the hyperbaric chambers or stairs or like anything to kind of prepare you for what is it, like over 5,000 feet of elevation for sure?
You know, when I first got this fight, I was a little worried, about the elevation and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I thought, man, I've always been a fighter, no matter what. If I grew up and I walked down the street and someone tried to steal my bike, I didn't just let them steal my bike. No matter if it was one person or 5 people, I would fight. I would fight for my bike. So I kind of look at it like that, someone were to disrespect my little brothers, sisters, my wife. Right now, while I was out, I'm not going to stretch out and warm up. No, I'm probably going to end up fighting, So that's how I thought about with Mexico. I'm a fighter, man. If I had to, I'll fight underwater. But yes, I have been doing some preparation for it. I have a great nutritionist. His name's Doug Kalman. He's been around a lot of fighters, and he's been a nutritionist for a long time. And I also have my strength conditioning coach, Dr. Corey Peacock, and they kind of came up with a little plan with different supplements to take, and a little nutrition plan that will kind of give me the edge, and ready for high altitude. That'll open my lungs a little bit. So I trust my coaches, and I'm just following their plan. And this Friday, actually, I have a little cool little tent coming in to get me ready too. So I'll be sleeping there for a week, and then next week I'll fly to Mexico. So that's basically 2 weeks in high altitude with me eating so good this whole camp. So I think I'll be prepared, man. And if I do gas out, I gas out. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna fight, though. I'm still gonna fight.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So your opponent, Alejandro Perez, he was the Ultimate Fighter Latin America Season 1 winner at bantamweight, and he's 3-1-1 in the UFC. I mean, he's a really scrappy dude, likes to really kind of swing from the hip with intention. His last outing was against a common opponent in Albert Morales. He drew even with him. What do you think of the stylistic matchup here?
I think it's a great fight for me because anybody that wants to stand up is a good fight for me. I don't care if it's a top 30 guy or a top 10 guy. If you're going to go in there already wanting to strike with me, that's a win for me. That's what I'm best at. That's what I'm good at. And I really believe that, I'm one of the better strikers in the UFC. I just have to prove it, and here's the opportunity for me to prove it, that I am one of the best strikers in the UFC. And once, I become a household name, I could be known as the best striker of the UFC. But, I'm taking it one step at a time. I know my place. I know my role. So it's easy preparation for me. I think that I'm more athletic. I think that my ground game is better. And if he wants to strike, he can strike. If he wants to try and wrestle me, he can try. But I'm really good at sprawling. I'm really good at getting back up. So I doubt he's going to try. But if he tries, good luck with that.
Okay, now how's training camp going? And where are you training? The last time we spoke, you were at the Black Zillions. I guess that kind of the Black Zillions fell apart altogether. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Maybe you have a little insight as to what went down there.
Yeah, man, it was kind of a crazy how it happened. I really don't know the insights on it, but yeah, I'm training with a lot of the same training partners up in Combat Club. Henry Booth started it. He brought along Greg Jones. Okay. And I got the Burns brothers doing my jiu-jitsu, like Gilbert and his brother Herbert. So, I'm really taking the initiative of now focusing the camps and the training around me, forget this team thing. I have my brothers. I have my teammates that are there training hard, grinding. They want the same thing I want. some of them want to be where I'm at, you know, but everybody knows that it's an individual sport. I was there. I was at the bottom of the bucket, and I had to work my ass up. You know, it took me 4 years in Florida with the Black Zillions. And now that, you know, there's no more Black Zillions, I think that's a positive for me because now I can be like, it's Team Soukhamthath. You know, it's Team Soukhamthath. So I can really surround with the coaches of I can surround myself with the teammates and the coaches of my choice. I can kind of do whatever I want to do. And that's what I did this camp. You know, I made some investments, you know, I hired a coach. I got a nutritionist. I'm sticking to my same striking coach, wrestling coach. And I also, you know, have some good quality training partners that are down here with me too, like #1 kickboxer in the world, Robin Van Roosmalen. He's a glory champion, 2-time. I've been training every day. You know, I've been training my striking with him every day. And you know how a lot of our coaches, they travel a lot. We have a lot of top level fighters that have fights coming, that have fights and had fights. So sometimes they're not always there for me. So you know what I do? I say, you know what? I pick up the phone. Hey, Robin, let's work together this camp. This guy's a striker. He's about your size, same height. Let's work together. And me, Robin, Sean, Erwin, you know, we just got together, Gilbert, and we're working. We're working on my fight. You know, it's not geared towards me, but I have their attention because, you know, I have a big fight coming up, and just drilling and working with Robin every day, man, you're gonna see another level come Mexico, August 5th, man.
I dig it. Do you have a prediction on how you see this fight playing out?
I see myself finishing him in the second round, you know, but I don't really like saying things like that. I don't know how, because then I'll just end up trying to gun for it. You know what I mean? It could be a flying knee, could be a body shot, could be a submission. But if he can hang, it'll go to decision, and I'll win by decision. Now, I won't be mad at that because it's a top level, you know, and you're going to see me try to finish him. But if he's tough, then, you know, sometimes you can't finish everybody.
Okay, now...
But I see my hand being raised.
Okay, now what would be next for Andre Soukhamthath? Would you want to get on the microphone and maybe call out your next opponent, or just whoever they give you is the next guy on the chopping block?
You know, I know I'm going to perform, you know, and I know I'm going to win. So when I get on the microphone, I'm not going to call anybody out. Like I said, I know my place in the UFC. I'm fine with fighting the same guys that are just being signed, just like me, you know, because experience is a weapon. And if I can get as much experience as I can in the octagon, you know, I plan on finishing 3-0 with this contract and then signing another contract. And hopefully that contract's going to count and, you know, look real good. But I have to prove myself in this contract. So I'm not going to be too picky about what the UFC wants from me in this contract. All I have to do is prove myself. And I believe that they'll take me to the next level. As long as I win, I think that, you know, I'm going to become a superstar.
Okay, the Asian sensation, I definitely dig it.
Hey, once I get on the mic, I'm going to let them know that, you know, hey, it's the Asian sensation right here.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, do you got any sponsors or people you want to give a special shout out or a thank you to that are helping you along your journey?
For sure, man. I'd like to thank Chef Fit, Meal Plans. They've been helping me so much this camp. All my coaches, you know, Henry, Coach Jones, Gilbert, Herbert, my training partners, Robin, Sean, Erwin, Dr. Peacock, thank you very much for taking my conditioning to the next level. My nutritionist, Doug Kalman, and a very special person to me, Phil Gallo. You know, he's always offered this help to me. He's like a father here in Florida to me, so he makes sure I'm always good. And you know, that's really it. 27 North, what's up? My wife, you know, she's and I just signed with a new management company, First Round Management. So, you know, shout out to them too.
Okay, awesome. Well, for the few people out there that do not know how to follow you on your journey, what are your Twitter handles, social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz?
It's so easy, man. Just at me, at Andre, SOUK MMA. You'll see that blue check, baby.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Andre Soukhamthath, thank you so much for taking out the time once again. You're headed to Mexico City on August 5th. You're taking on Alejandro Perez, UFC Fight Night 114. Best of luck to you, sir.
Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate that, Eddie.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
All right, man. See ya.
Take care. So there you have it. UFC bantamweight Andre Soukhamthath headed to UFC Fight Night 114 on August 5th in Mexico City to take on Alejandro Perez. Go check that out. In the meantime, you can read me over at bloodyelbow.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @Mercado. If you like this interview, you can subscribe to my channel right there. Subscribe to Bloody Elbow's YouTube channel right here. Check out these interviews right there. Now go be a good person.